This is Scott Spears, and we have another gigantic event extravaganza in Classic Championship Wrestling coming up on March the 8th. It is Slamapalooza to be held at the Steve Hogg Rec Center, located at 775 North Main Street. $10 a ticket. You can get those tickets right now by calling 740-802-4337. But I gotta tell you what, the main event on this night is going to be huge. It's a return flag match. The United States, represented by Tony Atlas, Mr. USA, will face off against the Russian Brute, representing Russia, managed by Ox Baker. But there's a lot of dissension there right now after our last event, Valentine Violence, on February the 8th. Part of that concerns a man that I'm going to talk to for the first time since that event right now, the epitome of wrestling managers, Percival A. Friend. Percival, how are you?
Mr. Spears, I'm beyond words. I'm very upset. I've been in touch with my attorney, Mr. Ichabod, and his last name is Cheatham, by the way, and I am going to get some things resolved between myself and other people, especially with the board of directors of Classic Championship Wrestling. And I'm going to get to the bottom of this thing of why I was suspended from being on that gigantic card on March the 8th at the Hogg Center. First of all, I want you to understand this, Mr. Spears, that what I'm about to tell you, I don't want to go any further than what I'm already doing. In other words, Ox Baker doesn't need to know what my business is. My business concerning him is to collect the 35% that I get of his money, and that's it. With that being said, I want to talk a little bit. 35%. That's right.
Yeah.
I understand the standard's 10, but Ox is a little bit gullible. He can be led down the road, and if he wants to give me 35%, that's up to him. All right.
Do you get 35%? Do you get 35%? Do you get 35% from all your charges locked down, Mr. 90210?
That, sir, is none of your business.
Okay, go ahead.
My business is making money. My business is pleasing myself and nobody else. You've seen what a great, great person I was at the last event there at the Hogg Center back on February the 8th. The very opening match, I came out to a thunderous applause. People loved me. They loved Lockdown, and we beat the living daylights out of that Mikey the Maniac. And then Mikey even, I don't understand this guy. I really don't. And he's a misfit. He's a maniac. He should be locked up.
It's very
apparent. His manager, I'm sorry?
Now, hold on. It's very apparent that revisionist history has already set in your mind because thunderous ovation of happiness from the crowd, far from it. A tremendous chorus of boos was more like it. And I also
No.
Now, hold on.
You were listening to some radio program that you had plugged into your ear. I think it was Okefenokee on the radio or something. That doesn't matter. We won the match. Doesn't matter how we won it, but we won the match. And Lockdown even ended up by clotheslining that goofy doctor of his, not once, but at my request twice. It was then that I returned to the dressing room, and I got my next world's champion, Jack Hansen, the second cousin to Stan Hansen, the Lariat, and I brought him to the ring. And again, my thunderous applause was right there with me. We got in the ring. We defeated Bobo Brazil. We outsmarted the guy.
Whoa. Defeated? You lost that match by countout. And a matter of fact...
No, I don't think so. You and I aren't on the same page.
People can check the tape. Classic Championship Wrestling, Marion, Ohio on Facebook. Check it out. Check the video.
We won the match. Bobo was right down on his knees crying for mercy, and Jack was just beating the living daylights out of him like he was supposed to. Now, let me go on to the next little event that I was in. This big hog guy, this power lifter, this Olympic weightlifting, the only thing he ever lifted was a shovel to shovel food in his mouth, judging by the size of the guy. Mr. 90210, wasn't he just beautiful? I mean, the guy is, He's over 7 foot tall. He has the physique of an Adonis. He has the moves and the mystery about him that makes you just want to have more. The guy is a tremendous athlete. He works out at least 6 hours a day. I don't want to say anything more about the guy because he is just number one in my books. Well, maybe number 2. I'm number 1. Now, I'm going to take and unload something on you, Mr. Spears, that maybe you are not going to appreciate. I know how Larry Zbyszko was brought into that whole scenario.
Oh, you do?
You know?
Well, yeah, I know, but I want to know how you think you know.
Because my people that I have, and I have some spies in Marion, Ohio, of all places, my people told me the absolute truth about you, Scott Spears.
Go ahead.
And the reason that Larry Zbyszko was there. Larry Zbyszko and you are related.
Really?
You are Larry Zbyszko's illegitimate son. I found that out. And now I know how I got suspended and why I won't be there on March the 8th at the Hog Center. Well, but let me just say something to you before you interrupt me again, sir. I'm going to be in that building. I don't care if I have to come in dressed like some old woman or some old bum like some of those people there in Marion. I'm going to be there. My men need me. They need me to win. They need me to go forth and preserve pure, unadulterated wrestling the way that it should be. And I am going to be there. You're not going to keep me out of the building, sir. Not at all. I don't care. I'll get in there, and I'll make sure that each one of my men win their match.
Well, now you're going to have to give me a second here. Now let's address everything you've just said, and we're going to do it kind of quickly here. At the last program, Outlaw Jack Hansen defeated by Bobo Jr. Lockdown defeated in the $500 challenge against Larry Zbyszko, and Mr. 90210 defeated by countout to Uncle Hog. So Lockdown did win his match with Mikey the Maniac by countout, so you're 1-3 in the organization. 1 win, 3 losses. Not a very good batting record for a manager. Moving on past that point, Larry Zbyszko and I have no relation, and the reason you are banned is because you interfered so heinously, continuously. You got involved in the Bobo.
I never did anything.
You got involved in the Bobo match. You got involved in the Brazil match. You got involved in the 90210 match. You had your hands on everything. And to top it all off, now hold on, before we get to my final point, I do want to let people know, all 3 of your men, one thing you were able to do is sign their names on contracts for March the 8th, and they won't have you in their corner. I'll make sure you're barred from the building. 90210, Mr. 90210, that 7-foot monster, is in a rematch with Uncle Hog. It is a lumberjack match. Cannot run away this time like he did last time, 90210, that is. Lockdown.
He never ran away.
That's your story. Lockdown is involved in a match with Demon Khan. Going to be a very tough match for him. Lockdown was defeated by Demon Khan back in November before he became under your tutelage. And the Outlaw Jack Hansen involved in a singles encounter with a great young up-and-comer, Chris Payne. Now forget all that. That's March the 8th. That's going to be big. The thing that's on everybody's tongue is that main event, that flag match. First of all, why were you out there? You don't manage the Russian Brute. You don't manage Nikolai Volkov. Why were you even out there?
I manage Ox Baker, sir. And I was there for a reason. Because Ox asked me to come out to ringside, to be at his side, to give him that guidance so that he could give the Russian Brute, who couldn't even tie his own shoelaces, a reason to want to win.
Well, let's bring this up. Hold on.
Let's talk about the Russian Brute for just a second.
He doesn't like you.
And rightfully so, he don't like me. He doesn't like giving me 35% of his money either.
Well, do we know, do the fans know? I tell you, if you missed the last show, go check it out, because you left, well, I'll let you tell them. You left that arena that night in a very compromising way, we should say.
I was airlifted to a hospital in Northwest Ohio where I underwent emergency surgery, sir. And it's because of that Russian Brute The guy has no mentality at all. He's an idiot. He's a kind of a leech. He's kind of like an albatross that jumps on somebody's back when they're not looking and attacks them. He heart punched me and he collapsed an aortic artery, and I had to be airlifted. And I underwent emergency surgery. They went in, did a cath. They put a couple of stents in to reopen the artery, and I'm living to tell about it now.
Well,
and I am going to get my revenge somewhere, somehow.
My heart bleeds peanut butter for you, but hold on.
I still blame Ox Baker for all of that happening. I should have been there at my side helping me out and telling that Russian brute to keep his hands to himself. But he was not.
I know.
And for that reason, I may take and get him off of my books too.
Well, I think he's off your book anyway, Percival, because as I was told, we did an interview with Ox about a week ago, and I know you've heard that interview, and Ox Baker had some very unkind things to say about you. I think that relationship is already broken. I don't think you have to break it.
Well, I'm the one that's going to do it, if anybody. And I'll tell you what, Ox is not going to like what's going to happen to him. Not at all. He's going to be out there in that world all alone, all by himself, with nobody to say, well, Percival A. Friend did that.
Now, you're a big talker. You're a big talker, right? You think of yourself like John Wayne with that goofy hat on and those sequin outfits you wear.
What goofy hat? I don't wear a cowboy hat.
No, but you wear a goofy hat. That thing you have on, I don't know what that is.
That is a tam, sir, and that was given to me by the late Angus Campbell.
Well, he was a great, there's no doubt about it, but the hat is goofy as could be. Now, but you think you're John Wayne. Would you be saying this if Ox could hear this conversation? Would you be saying these things about...
I could care less if Ox was listening in. He's nothing to me anymore. And I'm going to stop the relationship between Ox and I, and I'm just going to take care of it.
But hold on, John Wayne. Let me tell you something, Percival. I don't know if you know this, but I don't like Ox Baker. He stinks. He's big. He's mean.
That's right.
He's ugly. I don't like him. But you know what?
I share the opinion.
I thought, oh, really? First time for everything. I knew you would shoot your mouth off because you just can't help yourself. So guess what? Through this entire conversation, we've had somebody else on the line. World Champion, are you there?
Yeah, yes, I'm there. I'm trying to enjoy myself.
Ox, my friend, how are you doing? How are you, Ox, my good friend? What's going on? How did they reach you?
Percy, you're trying to sweet talk me.
Ox, you're my friend. We're buddies. Hey, where did everything go? This guy's going to try and twist you. He's going to turn you. No. He's going to try and put us up against each other.
Like a lot of other managers, that you try to be stronger than the guys that you are managing. I don't have to be. I always take a step back. I always make my man look better than he actually is. I give him a great advice. And I want to tell
Ox, look what they're doing to you.
I had no idea why you was out there in my match. In fact, I told the brute, why is he even there? The brute said, well, he has something up his sleeve. I've been listening to you the last 10 minutes, and I even sent my housekeeper, Rebecca, out for a big towel so you to blow your nose, and you did all that crying for 10 minutes. Now, you don't belong there March 8th, and if you try to sneak into that building,
I'm going to be there, Ox. I need to be there for you, Ox.
Or something. I'm going to turn my Russian brute loose because he's an Ox. I only put him in the hospital last time. I'm going to put him somewhere else next time. So here's a warning. Keep away from that building March 8th. We don't need you there.
Ox, I have to be there. I have to be there. I still hold your contract, Ox. I need to be there for you.
You can tear my contract up. You have no more to do with me. You understand that? Scott, he has no more to do with I don't want him there.
I'm going to be there, Ox.
I catch cold every time I listen to him. No, the manager cannot be stronger than the man he runs. No, the Russian brute made a mistake, right? And I'm going to recommend him for that there. But he promises me that my arch enemy, USA, Tony Atlas, who will never wrestle me in 40 years, is going to be in that match March 8th. And Percy, if you know better, go home with your mother, wash your dishes, clean your walls, but don't...
Oh, no, Ox, don't say things like that. Ox, please. Come on, Ox.
Hold on,
we've known each other for over 40 years.
If you show up there for that, you're going to be sitting in an ambulance again.
Now, Percy, don't speak again. I know you love the sound of your own voice, but I'm going to slap a gag order on you if you talk again. Because I feel like Richard Dawson. This is like the Family Feud. Ox Baker, are you saying you're no longer in business with Percival A, friend?
No, I'll tell you one thing. Rebecca, my housekeeper, spent 2 hours making me a nice supper. I'm ready to eat it, and now I have to listen to him. I don't know if I regurgitate this meal after I get through listening, but he has no business with me ever again. And if he comes in that building, I'm going to make one promise to you and the fan. I'm going to have him knocked out. I'm going to have him carried out of that match if he tries to show up.
30 years you've been in business with this man in one form or another, Ox. What do you really think of him? What has he done besides get his hands in your pocket for the last 30 years?
Don't say.
Hey, shut that
Scott,
lip.
don't start nothing.
Ox Baker's talking. Ox, go ahead. What do you really think of him?
Well, like I said, if he would just pretend to business, but he wants to be number one. He wears that crazy hat. Everybody laughs at him. He comes in and interferes in all the matches. You know, I didn't have to interfere in that match like I said I wasn't.
But you did. You interfered.
I didn't interfere. I went up to say something to my man, and somehow or another, Percy Pringle got in the way. I don't know what happened. You ever have a blank spot? Well, I have a blank spot. What happened that night? All I know is I don't want him there March 8th. I don't want him to see a great victory this Russian brute's going to have over Mr. USA. And again, I don't have to interfere.
Now, hold on one second. I wish we had a lie detector, a polygraph on this conversation.
Yeah, you could put it on Ox Baker for saying all those nasty, mean things about me.
Now, hold on.
Hey, Ox, we've been friends for over 40 years now. Come on. Don't let this guy twist your mind. I'm going to be there on the 8th. I'll help it.
I'll your nose and get dry up your eyes. Everybody is sick and tired of you crying. You got in the way. You got hurt, so you went to the hospital. That's the thing it says on my shirt. I love to hurt people or get somebody hurt, and you got hurt in February.
Well, tell me this. We have Alberto Torres, Ray Gunkel. You know, maybe Percy Friend will be the third name on that list.
Hey, don't be saying things like that now.
Hey, what do you think about that?
I don't like that idea.
The future is he's not going to come into that match, and if he does, I'm going to look for him somewhere, and he's going to get hurt. So please stay at home. Help your mother do the dishes, you know, because I understand that you make her...
Ox, I'll have Mr. Fleeson call you, okay? Listen, I'm so upset.
Hold on. Thank you very much.
Whoa. We got one thing to cover up here, Ox, before we let you go.
Okay.
I know you're busy. This Russian brute, what we are talking about, it's the main event, March 8th, Fan Appreciation Night. All kinds of things are going to be given away to our fans because we love them. Let me say that. Ox Baker Cookbook, Ox Baker T-shirt, pictures, caricatures,
absolutely.
Coupons to fast
food. I'm going to hug some of the ugly kids there that night.
There we go. But it's going to be a big event in that regard. But beyond that, right now in this conversation, Ox Baker, there is so much tension between you and the Russian brute. You said some very nasty things about him in the last conversation we had.
Well, he didn't listen to me. These guys get in their head because I trained them. I've been with them so long. They do things on their own. You got to do it Ox Baker's. There's a right way, a wrong way, and there's Ox Baker's way. And if you do it Ox Baker's way, at the end of the match, you do one thing. They'll raise your arm up in the air.
Ox, I want to give you the final word. Stay with me on this conversation, but I want to let Funny Hat, Percival A. friend, back in here for 1 second. But I do want to say it's March the 8th, Steve Hogg Rec Center, a huge extravaganza, Slamapalooza, 7 p.m. Get your tickets, $10 a seat, 740-802-4337.
And some fans are going to get my autograph on one of my cookbooks. I'm going to give one of my aprons away, several pictures. And like I say, I'm even going to hug some of the ugly kids.
And the main event that night, flag match, you won't want to miss this, Russian Brute with Ox Baker versus Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. And the other half of that double main event, Bobo Brazil Jr. will face the 400-pound man who's been banned from in 45 states.
And I'm going to be in his corner that night, too.
I know the Butcher Beast. He is a dangerous
man. And another thing, Scott, like I told you, I'm going to be sitting at that announcing booth to make sure you call the matches right. I don't want you stuttering or anything. Just listen to Ox Baker, because I know all there is about wrestling, and you're going to have a great partner that night. I'm going to keep you on the ball.
I've already called my dry cleaner and alerted him that my clothes will be coming special delivery after the show. But Ox, stay there. Percival, friend, you have been fired. You have been banned from the ring. You have expedited from the March 8th. Ox Baker has called you a scam. Well, you don't get much lower than that. Percy, what do you got to say?
I can say a lot of things, sir, but I'm going to tell you this. Ox, you know, we've had... oh, God, you got me so mixed up right now. I don't know what to do. I'm going to be there on the 8th. I don't care. Nobody's going to keep me out of that building. Nobody. Nobody's. I'm going to talk to Mr. Fleeson. Nobody's going to keep me out of that building. I don't care what. I am going to be there. Larry Zabisco couldn't stop me. You're not going to stop me. Nobody's going to stop me. Goodbye, sir.
Hold on, Percy. Percy, Russian Brute has already put you in the hospital. He doesn't want you there. Ox Baker has killed 2 men in the ring. He says you come in, you're leaving by ambulance.
He's going to get hurt. He's going to get carried out of there.
You better stay home, my friend. You staying home, Percy?
That's right.
Heed the warning. You still there, or you hiding under the bed? I think he blew out of here, Ox. I'm going to let
Take
you...
your big towel and wipe your face off.
I want to finish with you, Ox. You're the world champion.
Okay, let me get back to my supper, Scott.
Well, hold on, I want you to finish. Ox, for the final word here, Percy friend, no longer in business with you, and if he shows up on March the 8th, he's leaving in an ambulance.
Right. And one of the things I'm going to do for my fans, if he shows up, one of my gifts is watch him carried out of the arena.
It's going to be an extravaganza at Slamapalooza, March the 8th. Get your tickets, 740-802.
Give me some water, Rebecca. I'm thirsty.
4337. He's eating that raw meat again. You've got to watch that, man. He's nuts. Ox Baker.
And all the fans, I'm going to say hello to everybody that night. I'm even going to have maybe a raffle there. I'm going to say hello to all my fans. And Percy Pringle, do one thing. Please stay home.
See, 30 years, he never even knew the guy's name. Percy Friend, Ox. He must not have liked him very well. Fans, March the 8th, you're not going to miss this. There's so much dissension there. Ox Baker hates the Brute. The Brute hates Baker. Percy Friend hates Ox Baker. Ox Baker hates Percy Friend. I've never seen such a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
It couldn't happen to 3 nicer guys.
Yeah.
March the 8th.
Thanks, Scott, for letting me listen in on him, that crybaby. Oh, I hate crybabies, you know. I remember the last time I got a whip and I kept saying to my dad, hit me harder, because I don't feel it. But he's going to feel it. If he sneaks into that match, he sneaks in it, I'm going to get him hurt.